specifically, I kind of come back to the calories in, calories out model. All I was taught, like I said, was that my sole goal was to get my client into a calorie deficit. I was just told as long as a client's in a calorie deficit, they'll lose weight. And the thing was, for some of my clients, that was working. But for some reason, half of my clients, this isn't working for. This model basically says that if my client's burning 2,000 calories a day, effectively, the body can be fed two ways. It can be fueled from the outside world or the inside world. Based on everything I'm doing today, I'm going to require 2,000 calories worth of energy. Okay. But I've only given the body 1,500 calories worth of energy, which means to carry out the demands of the day, the body's got to find another 500 calories from somewhere. Question to you all: where does the body find this 500 calories from? Ask yourself the question. Someone put it in the chat. Where does the body find this from? Jackie, you can't answer because you're on my program. You already know the answer. Okay. So, where does it find it from? If you said fat, that used to be my answer. Okay. Some of it will come from my fat reserves. And here's where the calories in, calories out model failed me. The model assumes that 100% of this energy is going to come from fat. It's not. It's going to come from our stores. And the quality of food that we're actually consuming determines where this comes from. So I then went on this journey to go, right, where's this whole calories in, calories out thing come from? Like, where's it come from? And I went back into the archives and I went to the original studies back in the late 1940s. And there was a study called the Minnesota Starvation Experiment. And the Minnesota Starvation Experiment effectively was the birth of the calories in, calories out model. And what it basically did was it got individuals on 1,600 calories a day. And effectively, they were doing loads of exercise and they were eating a low-fat, high-carbohydrate diet. Okay? So the standard sort of like weight loss diet that we all put our clients on. Okay, make sure you're getting your carbs in. The most important thing from an energy source, it's your primary source of fuel, and make sure that we're getting our protein in and we're doing our exercise. Okay, and basically they got them consuming 1,600 calories a day, eating a low fat, high carb diet, doing a ton of exercise, and they got them to do that for 6 months. And there were two core, very, very interesting findings. Now, the first thing was they estimated how much weight these guys should lose over the next 6 months. And they estimated, based on the equation of 1 pound of body fat being 3,500 calories, they estimated that they should lose 32 kilos. And here was what was really interesting. First of all, they estimated they should lose 32 kilos, but they actually only lost 16.8 kilos. So they actually lost half the amount of weight that they should have. And secondly, 45% of the weight that was actually lost came from lean body mass. So I see all of these coaches who are like, oh, my client's lost 10 kilos. And I'm like, yeah, half of it's come from their bicep. Because the quality of food that we actually consume determines where this weight is actually going to be pulled from. And the question was, why was this happening? It was happening because these guys were in a calorie deficit, yes, but they were in a calorie deficit while they were excessively stimulating the hormone insulin. Anyone heard of insulin before? So if you've had type 2 diabetic clients, etc., you'll have heard of insulin. Now, one of the primary jobs of insulin is that what insulin does is that when you excessively stimulate insulin, it decreases an individual's ability to burn fat. Effectively, you can see insulin as the door to your fat reserves. Stimulate insulin, shut the door. Bring insulin down, open the door. Make sense? So effectively what was happening, that these guys were in a deficit while stimulating the hormone that was decreasing their ability to burn fat. Now, here's the thing. Insulin was doing a couple of things. That first of all, what insulin was doing, and it was why these guys were in a deficit, for me, of 500 calories. Yeah? These guys were in a deficit of 500 calories, but they were in a deficit while stimulating insulin. So, yes, they were in a deficit of 500 calories, but they were doing it while stimulating the hormone that decreased their ability to burn fat, which meant out of these 500 calories, only 50% of it was actually going to come from fat. The other 50% actually comes from lean body mass. So we've got two core findings in this study. First of all, half the weight that was lost didn't come from fat. Secondly, the amount of weight that they lost, balloons. The amount of weight that they lost was half the amount. Why? Because when you are excessively stimulating insulin, it decreases metabolic rate. It decreases the amount of calories that someone is burning per day. So, here's what was happening. And if you've got a client who's hitting a plateau, this is what is happening right now. That what was happening was that my client on paper was burning 2,000 calories, but they were doing it while we were excessively stimulating insulin, which meant I thought they were burning 2,000 calories, but they were actually only burning 1,700 calories. They're consuming 1,500 kcals while consuming food that is excessively stimulating insulin. So on paper, I think my client is in a deficit of 500 calories. 500 calories a day should be a pound of body fat per week, which should be 4 pounds per month. Okay? But actually, here's what was happening. Because we were excessively stimulating insulin, the amount of energy they were burning per day wasn't 2,000, it was actually 1,700, which meant that this deficit was actually only 200 kcals. And we were doing it while consuming foods that were excessively stimulating insulin, decreasing my ability to burn fat, which actually meant out of the original 500 calorie deficit my client I thought was in, only 100 calories of that, because 50% of that is effectively coming from lean body mass, was coming from fat. Which meant they should be losing a pound of body fat a week. They were actually only losing a pound of body fat a month. Is this making sense to everyone? And this is what was happening. That's why my clients weren't making progress. They'd lose a pound a month. Is a pound a month something worth paying £150 a month for? No. That's what was happening. So I realized what I needed to do was go on this journey of understanding, not how I could lower calories, how I could lower insulin. Now, here's the thing with insulin. And also, here's the thing as to why 50% of my clients were making progress, though. So I had 50% of my clients who I gave a calorie goal and a protein target, and they'd be fine. Because here's where people go wrong with insulin. The extent to which you stimulate insulin determines the extent to which your ability to burn fat goes down. Now, here's the thing. Me and John could eat the same sandwich. John's insulin could go to here. It goes up and goes down. My insulin could go through the roof. I could look at the sandwich and put 5 kilos on. No one is made, Anita. I could look at the sandwich and put 5 kilos on. So, this is why 50% of my clients were getting results, because they were low insulin stimulators. They'd have the sandwich, insulin go up, go down. Door would shut, open up again. Perfectly fine. I see all these 20-year-old coaches on Instagram basically go, well, I eat loads and loads and loads of carbs and I've just lost 17 kilos. I'm like, yeah, because you're a low insulin stimulator, mate. Whereas half of my clients, they look at that and they put all of this insulin on. So effectively, there is a spectrum of someone's ability to lose weight. You want to be able to master nutritional coaching. You want to be able to get to a place where every single one of your clients gets amazing results, and you can guarantee that when anyone comes into your program, you can deliver a result. Your job is to understand where they are on this spectrum. You will have some people down here who give them a calorie goal and a protein target, and they'll lose a shed ton of weight because they're a low insulin stimulator. But you'll have others down here, give them a calorie goal, give them a protein target, and they will put weight on. They will be in the situation where they're the high insulin stimulators. Is this making sense? So our job is to identify where is this person on this spectrum and what is the way of eating that is best suited for them. There is no one size fits all approach. You want to master this? The key is identifying where they are on the spectrum and giving them the right approach. Now, off the back of everything I'm about to go through now, if you master this, these guys who aren't making progress, they'll never hit a plateau again. Whenever they're hitting a plateau, you'll be able to break through it. But more importantly, you'll be able to set your clients up so they don't hit plateaus in the first place. And your clients who are already getting good results, you'll be able to take their results to a whole new level. Fundamentally, any client who comes into your program, you can deliver a result. Question for you: how would life change for you if you knew 100% you could guarantee results? Would that change the price that you charge? Would that change your referrals? Would that change how you sell and market yourself? Do you think you bang the drum of your business a little bit more? If the answer is yes to any of that, then you've got to go all in on mastering this stuff. And what I'm going to share with you is genuinely the only nutritional strategy you ever need to learn and master as a personal trainer. So I need to ask you a third commitment. Will you go all in on just mastering this one specific strategy? Okay? Go all in on that, because I promise you, you do that, you'll never have a problem nutritionally again. Any self-doubt, any imposter syndrome, gone. Any clients dropping off, gone. Go big or go home. But yeah, I absolutely love this energy. So, when we're looking at optimal fat loss, there are 3 core things we need to nail. And also, these 3 core things are where a standard calories in, calories out model fails. Okay? Number 1, we need to ensure our client is actually burning fat. Remember, just because someone's in a deficit does not mean 100% of their energy is going to come from fat. If our client is excessively stimulating insulin, 45% of that weight is going to come from lean body mass. Classic calorie restriction results in 40 to 55% of weight coming from lean mass. Secondly, we also need to build and maintain lean muscle tissue. Remember, our job is to provide amazing results for our clients. And if you can master this, this is how you can get your clients building muscle and dropping fat at the same time. How many coaches do you know can do that? Being a little bit arrogant, but probably, in my opinion, the only people who know how to do that are the people who are trained by me. Because you go and master this, you will be able to get your clients building muscle and dropping body fat at the same time. So, 3 core things that make up optimal fat loss. Number 1, we need to ensure our clients burning fat. If they're excessively stimulating insulin, not happening. Standard calorie restriction, not happening. Number 2, we need to build and maintain lean muscle tissue. And here's the most important one that everyone else misses, which is if you want to deliver a long-term sustainable result, you want to deliver a result that no one else can actually deliver, master this third one, which is we need to satisfy and suppress our client's appetite. I had a coach come to me once and he said, I thought that just, hunger was a side effect of a calorie deficit. And I said, yeah, if we're doing it wrong. Our goal is not to get our client into a calorie deficit. I need you to write this part down, guys. Okay? Our goal is not to get our client into a calorie deficit. Our goal is to provide our clients with food which satisfy and suppress their appetite, so they end up creating a deficit unintentionally. They end up finding themselves in a deficit because they're not hungry. And I see so many coaches going, you've got to track macros, you've got to count calories. Do you know that I've got ADHD, attention span of the gnat? Do you know how long, the longest I've been able to actually track macros for? Lunchtime. I'm busy. I forget to take the bins out and my missus kills me. So to then have a coach ask me to go, you've got to take a photo of every single piece of food that you're eating, weigh it out, plug it into some app. My dyslexic brain does not tolerate that. I don't get it. Question, who here wants to track macros for the next 50 years? So if the answer is no, start as you mean to go on. The strategy I'm going to share with you again is a way to ensure your clients are in a deficit. Your clients are getting long-term sustainable results through optimizing their ability to burn fat, build muscle tissue, and suppress their appetite without the necessity for MyFitnessPal. If you could deliver results for your clients without MyFitnessPal, would that change things for you? Absolutely. So, our goal is to nail these 3 core pillars, and I refer to them as my 3 pillars of fat loss. And when we're looking at optimal nutritional strategies, there are 5 things, for us as coaches that we can control to nail these 3 things? Anyone want to know what the 5 things are? No. Awesome. Right. Number 1, I can hear them already screaming at me. Yeah, but if they're in a protein goal, like that'll be fine. Protein is so important, absolutely, but it's not enough. Now, if your client is not consuming the right quantity and the right quality of protein, well, first of all, what protein does is it's muscle sparing. We need to consume protein in order to make sure that we can build and maintain lean muscle tissue. So, if your client is not consuming adequate amounts of protein, what happens is that their ability to build and maintain lean muscle tissue goes down, which means instead of breaking down body fat, the body will break down muscle tissue. So, if your client isn't consuming adequate amounts of protein, it fails on the first pillar where their ability to burn fat is going to go down because it'll break down muscle tissue. Secondly, it fails on the second one. Their ability to build and maintain lean muscle tissue is going to go down. And thirdly, protein is the most satisfying and satiating nutrient. Protein has the biggest impact on suppressing appetite. If your client is not consuming adequate amounts of protein, their ability to suppress their appetite is going to go down. So, yes, absolutely. If our client is in a deficit, we need to make sure they're consuming adequate protein, but it's not enough alone. Because if your client is consuming excessive amounts of refined carbohydrates, if the quality and quantity of carbohydrates to fit where they are on the insulin spectrum is not right for them, well, refined carbohydrates stimulate insulin more than anything. So your client could be in a deficit. Your client could be consuming adequate amounts of protein. But if they're consuming excessive amounts of refined carbohydrates, specifically they're consuming excessive amounts of carbohydrates for their tolerance, that excessively stimulates insulin. When a client is excessively stimulating insulin, what does that do to their ability to burn fat? Goes down, fails in the first pillar. Secondly, when you excessively stimulate insulin, that also drives up inflammation. Everyone heard of inflammation? Now, inflammation decreases your ability to build muscle tissue. So let's say I go to the gym. Am I more or less likely to recover off the back of a training session if I'm in an inflamed state? More or less likely? Less likely. Now, here's the other thing. When you excessively stimulate insulin, you increase levels of inflammation. When you increase levels of inflammation, that increases the production of insulin, which then increases inflammation, which then increases insulin. Is this making sense? So, if my client is excessively consuming refined carbohydrates, that drives up insulin. Insulin then drives up inflammation. If I'm in an inflamed state, what does that do to my ability to build and maintain lean muscle tissue? Goes down, fails on the second. And thirdly, when you are excessively consuming refined carbohydrates, they drive up appetite more than anything. Think about what everyone craves: cookies, chocolate, sweets. They never go, "Oh, I'm craving a block of butter." No, it's always the sweet stuff. Okay. If your client's excessively consuming refined carbohydrates, I don't care if they're in a deficit or not, they will eventually find themselves out of that deficit because they'll be starving. And if there isn't a sweet treat in front of them, they'll be going for your arm. Fails on the third pillar. Everyone getting this? Now, third one, the quality and quantity of sleep. Right now, I have absolutely no risk of type 2 diabetes or being pre-diabetic. Okay. Pre-diabetes, type 2 diabetes is categorized as an insane level of insulin stimulation. Think about people with type 2 diabetes, most of them are also overweight. Why? Because they're excessively stimulating insulin. Now, let's say I start the week off on a Monday, and for the next 5 days, the only thing I'm going to do is sleep less than 6 hours a night. If I measured my insulin levels at the start of the week, and then at the end of the week, I measured my insulin levels, just by having less than 6 hours of sleep a night, I would flag up as having insulin levels the same as that of someone with pre-diabetes. Fails on the first pillar. If your client is not getting adequate quality and quantity of sleep, quality being the big one, that's going to drive up insulin more than anything. It's going to decrease your ability to burn fat. Secondly, muscles are not made in the gym. They are not made in the kitchen. They are made in the bedroom, which is why I'm not particularly muscular at the moment. Hey, blame my missus, not me. Okay. Anyway, come back. Be serious, Callum. Be serious and professional. Right? Okay. Our muscles are actually growing during sleep. It's where we're producing testosterone. It's where we're producing human growth hormone. But also, when we are in a sleep-deprived state, levels of inflammation increase. If we're in an inflamed state, what does that do to our recovery and our ability to train? Decreases, fails on the second one. And thirdly, individuals who are sleep-deprived typically find a 30% of increase in the hunger hormone ghrelin and appetite. And that's why typically sleep-deprived individuals consume an extra 200 to 600 kcals per day. That's an extra 52 pounds of body fat per year just because someone is not sleeping. Fails on the third one. Everyone getting this? Everyone excited about this? It makes sense, doesn't it? Fourth one. See how this is about so much more than just a calorie target and a protein goal. Can everyone see how this can help them as well? So I look at the fourth one, the health of your gut. Okay? To keep it really simple, yeah? Super, super simple. We've got trillions of bacteria in our gut. And these bacteria, they work very closely with our immune system. And effectively, our goal is to make sure that these bugs are happy. And we make them happy two ways. One, feed them what they want. And two, don't feed them what they don't want. Super simple. Okay, there's the balloons. And here's the key thing, okay? If we don't provide our gut with the core things that they need to be happy, they get angry. And when they get angry, that drives up inflammation. And what does inflammation increase? Insulin. And what does insulin do? Decrease our ability to burn fat. Secondly, when these bugs are angry, that drives up inflammation. What does that do to our ability to build muscle? Goes down. But here's the kicker. If we actually feed these guys with the things that they like, do you know what it does? When they consume the right sorts of foods, they result in the production of something called short-chain fatty acids. These short-chain fatty acids decrease appetite significantly. So if we can provide them with the right sort of stuff and make them happy, they can really help in appetite suppression. But if the environment we create for the gut is not there, fails on the fourth. And finally, the fifth one, alcohol. And when I'm talking about alcohol, I'm not necessarily just talking about alcohol in terms of the calories or the sugar that is found in alcohol. I'm on about if your client was just the alcohol itself. So I see around Christmas time, there's all of these coaches who are like, have your low calorie booze, make sure that you do this. Here's how you can still lose weight and drink alcohol. Don't do that. Terrible idea. Okay? If you're putting out there, here's how you can get into shape while drinking alcohol, you're just going to attract clients who want to get into shape while drinking alcohol. So don't do it. Okay? And here's the thing with alcohol. I'm talking about the alcohol itself. Even if your client was just drinking spirit and diet mixers and it was only 40 calories a go. Okay? What would happen would be alcohol itself stimulates insulin. When you are consuming excessive amount, damn it. I like that, John. When you're consuming excessive alcohol, it increases insulin, decreases our ability to burn fat. Secondly, alcohol significantly decreases our ability to build muscle tissue 3 ways. Number 1, it drives up inflammation. Number 2, alcohol decreases muscle protein synthesis. We look at muscle protein synthesis, simple word for synthesis to create protein, muscle, muscle. We are creating muscle protein. Your muscle is a ball of protein. If your client is excessively consuming alcohol, it's decreasing muscle protein synthesis, decreasing their ability to build muscle. But thirdly, what alcohol also does, although it can almost kind of like be an aid to help you drift off to sleep, the quality of sleep that happens off the back of alcohol consumption goes down, specifically REM sleep. Anyone familiar with something called REM sleep? REM sleep is something called rapid eye movement sleep. It's where your eyes are pinging back and forth. And it's also where you're dreaming. But more importantly, it's where you are producing testosterone. And testosterone is there to build muscle tissue. When we're consuming excessive alcohol, it decreases REM sleep, increasing inflammation, decreases the production of testosterone, fails on our second pillar in terms of our ability to build and maintain lean muscle tissue. And finally, I don't even need to go into too much detail about how alcohol impacts appetite in our decision making because your client is face planting a kebab at 3 o'clock in the morning. Alcohol causes you to make pretty shit decisions, and fundamentally, it gets your clients to press the fuck it button. Fuck it. Fuck it. I'll do it tomorrow. If your client's hungover, they go in the gym? No. If your client's hungover, they're having avocado on toast in the morning? No. They're calling up Mr. Yip and going, hey, can we have the Chinese in, please? Everyone get this. Everyone see how a protein target and a calorie goal is just not enough. It's not. Doesn't solve the problem. And the issue was I was doing that, but all of these things weren't working. And you have a very, very clear mission. I said to you, I need you to go on one core mission when it comes to this. Your sole goal with these 5 foundations, which is what I call them, my 5 foundations and my 3 pillars. Okay? Your sole goal is to nail 3 things with this. Number 1, understand the science of specifically how sleep deprivation works, how we can optimize someone's ability to sleep. What are all of the negative things that your clients are doing in terms of impacting their sleep? What are the positive things? How do we actually manipulate someone's carbohydrates? How does carbohydrate manipulate insulin? How does it go into that? You understand the science first, this all makes sense to you. So the first step is of each foundation, we need to master the science of this. Then secondly, what we need to do is then learn specifically how can we practically implement this? How can we put it into practice? Otherwise, we're just going to be a walking textbook. So what we need to do, once I understand the science of carbohydrates, I understand the science of gut health, the science of alcohol, the science of protein, the science of sleep, then I need to know practically how can I give my client a step-by-step roadmap to go and implement this in the real world. Everyone understand that? But then thirdly, like we said we're not interested in delivering a good result. We're not interested in delivering a great result. We're interested in delivering a result our client can't get from anyone else. Next level results. And you do that through one final step, which is that we then need to personalize it to our clients. Okay? Which fundamentally comes down to finding out where they are on this insulin spectrum, their ability to lose weight, and then going, how can I practically implement this and educate them in a way that it actually works for them? You do that, that's how you become a next level coach. Everyone get that? So your mission is to go on one core journey. If you're genuinely serious about leveling up your nutritional game, if you're genuinely serious about getting rid of imposter syndrome, getting rid of any form of lack of confidence, worry, doubt, fear that you have around nutrition, if you're genuinely serious about stopping your clients dropping off so you can finally build a business of substance, a business that is sustainable and something that actually rewards you for the blood, sweat, and tears that comes with entrepreneurship, master this. But specifically master these 5 foundations in a way that you can understand the science, you can practically implement it, and you can personalize it to every single one of your clients. You do this, you'll never have a client not getting a result ever again. Super simple. So my question to all of you guys is, do you think this will work for you? And do you think that everything that you've ran through on this workshop will work for you specifically? Now, let me ask you a little question. If you followed exactly what I showed you in the first part, and you finally understand how to control insulin, so your clients never hit a plateau again, and you could prevent it from happening right from the start. If you then used what I showed you in secret number 2, and any time a plateau did happen, you had a simple step-by-step system using those 5 foundations. You knew how to understand each one, how to implement it practically, and personalize it based on exactly where your client was in that insulin spectrum, so that not only did they break through the plateau, but they were building lean muscle tissue at the same time. And then you go through what I've just ran through in terms of purpose, accountability, and structure, where you can actually finally get your clients to adhere to the strategy, so you're not left banging your head against the wall, and they finally take action. fundamentally allowing you to increase your prices, increase retention, double your referrals, do you think you'd be successful? Now, if you're nodding your head, that's great. Now, let me ask you one other question. If you could do that, do you think you'd finally be able to justify a higher fee? Do you think if you were able to guarantee results for your clients, they stop dropping off? Do you think you'd be able to do that? Do you think you'd finally have the confidence to go out there and sign up those 17 because you know that your process works? And do you think you'd be able to deliver such a high quality result that each of those 17 clients gave you just one referral? If you're nodding yes to all of that, are you excited about the future that you have ahead of you? Now, who here is genuinely excited about everything that we've just covered over the past 90 minutes or so? Now, let me ask you one more question. Who's a little bit overwhelmed like Ron here? Who's a bit like, oh my God, where do I start? How do I kind of go about moving forward with things and make this happen? Um, if you are a little bit overwhelmed, don't worry. I've tried to cram 10 years of my experience into a 90-minute session. I've tried to give you as much as I possibly can. I wanted to make sure this wasn't some half-ass webinar that a lot of business mentors do, where it's basically here's how my client made 10 grand and buy from me. I didn't want to make sure that it was like that. I wanted to make sure I can leave you with as much content as possible. But as I kind of mentioned, I'm sure you'd appreciate that there's only so much I can fit into this one session. So my question to you is, would you mind, guys, if I just spend 10-15 minutes or so just running through a really, really special offer that I've put together for all of you guys exclusively for this session? Would you mind if I just spend like 10-15 minutes running through that? Would that be okay? Because I really want to kind of show you how you can make sure that you can continue all of your nutritional education and build on the knowledge that I've shared with you today to actually make sure that it works for you. Is that all right if I kind of go through that? I've put together a really, really, really special opportunity for all of you guys to continue your journey. At the start of this session, I asked you to make one core commitment. That commitment really was to commit to continue going on this journey for the remainder of your coaching career. And I want to give you the opportunity to be able to do that. And I would love to be able to invite you to come along on the journey with myself and all of the other amazing coaches that you can see here on the slides. The Next Level Coach is an offer I've put together for you where fundamentally you'll be able to master every single thing that we have gone through on that session. I also asked you today to make another commitment, which was to ask yourself the question, how does this apply to me? How does this apply to me? And fundamentally, if I look at the Next Level Coach, this is where we actually work together to apply these 5 foundations, this nutritional strategy, everything you've learned today, specifically to you, and specifically to you, your clients, and your business. It is a personalized program specifically for you. So fundamentally, it starts off with a 6-week nutrition course that is live, delivered online. And to summarize what the purpose of that course actually is, in all honesty, it's as simple as this headline. This is literally about mastering nutrition as a personal trainer, as a coach for the remainder of your coaching career, so you never struggle with client results again in just 6 weeks. I've condensed the past 10 years of my nutritional knowledge, my academic experience, my practical knowledge, and everything that I've been able to do to make my business a success into this 6-week course. I'm literally giving you a shortcut to success. This works at the highest level. This system, everything I'm going to teach you on that course, has really allowed me to deliver results when pressure is being the highest. And fundamentally, I'm giving you a proven, done for you system that works nutritionally. In just 44 days, you will know more nutritionally than 99% of coaches, and you'll actually know how to use this. So think about where you would be in 44 days' time, where fundamentally nutrition is just not a problem for you. It's done, it's finished, completed. And really what I've done is I've compiled this whole course together, got rid of the noise, got rid of the fluff. It just works. Not only has it worked for all of my clients in terms of my coaching, but also I've trained thousands of personal trainers to be able to do this. And fundamentally, it's the only nutritional system that you will ever need to master. Learn this and you're set. And really, I mentioned earlier that there is only one core thing that you need to do, which which is understand and master those 5 foundations, but going through those 3 core things. Every single week, we just go through one of those core foundations. Okay, we go through on a weekly live coaching call one of the core foundations. One week we'll go through carbohydrate, the next we'll go through sleep, then we'll go through alcohol. And effectively, on a live coaching call that I'm delivering to you guys, we run through those 3 steps: the science of it, how to practically implement it, and then how to personalize it to each and every specific one of your clients. So by the end of those 6 weeks, when we're looking at those core 5 foundations that we ran through today, which is the only nutritional strategy you really need to master, by the end of it, you'll understand the science, you know how to practically implement it and personalize it to each and every single client that you have. You will be in a place where you can deliver a result on a service you can't get from anyone else because you're able to master this strategy. Okay, so the course works through every single week to overcome that overwhelm. I spoke to you about accountability and structure earlier. I've broken it down where we just tackle one specific topic at a time. Now you'll notice that it's 6 weeks and we only have 5 foundations. That's because on the final week, I will run through a step-by-step process that you can use with your clients to optimize their ability to build muscle around their training. So I share with you the exact athletic strategy that I have used with some of the world's top athletes, so your client knows exactly what to eat before, during, and immediately after a training session to optimize their ability to perform in the gym and to recover from it. Fundamentally, you master this 6-week course, you are at a place where you can guarantee your clients build muscle and drop body fat, and you can personalize it to each and every single one of them. That's the promise. Now, as well as a weekly live coaching call, you'll also get WhatsApp support from myself. So you're not just kind of left to your own devices and it's like, oh, here's a course, here you go. We have WhatsApp support. So if you ever have a client that is stuck, what most of the guys do is that they'll drop me a message and they'll say, hey, I've got this client, they're stuck, they haven't made progress for a while. Can you just let me know what's going on? I'm like, yeah, no problem. Just like get them to keep a food diary, fire it over to me, and I'll tell you exactly why they're not making progress. So imagine effectively having a nutritionist in your pocket on speed dial. Whenever you have a question, whenever you have a client who may have asked you a question, instead of scrambling on Google and being like, okay, right, I need to see whether I can actually find the answer to this, you can go to a trusted source. What would that do for you? How would that change things for you? And fundamentally, any imposter syndrome that you have, it's gone because you've got me in your pocket. You will finally have that confidence in taking your plan back to your client because you know that it is backed by an elite level nutritionist. There's no more guesswork here. And also, part of the course as well. So I remember I've signed up to a lot of courses over the years, and there were certain times where I was like, oh, I can't make the session, I can't make the call. Like, is it going to be recorded? First of all of the calls are recorded, and you will have lifetime access to those calls. Okay, so all of the weekly sessions where I'm running through the 5 foundations and the performance pillars, you will have access to the recording. But I remember, like, I was on this one course, and I just kind of found it pretty hard. I was really, really busy at the time. I found it really hard to be able to actually kind of catch up with the recordings because it was almost like I had to make an appointment with myself where I'd have to kind of find the time to sit down, get my laptop up, watch the call. And even if it was recorded, I was just so behind and I was never able to make progress with it. And I kind of felt like I just wasted my money because I was just really, really busy. But what was really interesting on this one course, they said, hey, Callum, I know that was a concern of yours before, but don't worry because what we've got is a members only podcast. I was like, what on earth is a members only podcast got to do this? I'm like, well, have you got like a podcast app on your phone? I'm like, yeah, there's loads. Like there's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all of these things. And they said, well, effectively, what we've actually got is that all of the calls, if you miss the sessions, don't worry, because not only are they recorded so you can catch them on video, but they also get recorded and stripped down straight into our members only podcast. So what you can do is, and yes, I can send the first part. It's not a problem, my friend. I can send you that. So what we can do is that when you're looking to catch up, you literally just press play. So you can press play and you can catch up on the phone. You can catch up in your AirPods and you can catch up when you're driving whenever you're going. It's like, that's genius because I always go on a walk, I'm always driving, and I catch up on the calls. And I finally actually was able to fully complete the course, and it was great. And also, they had so many teachings and little trips, like tricks and tips that I could use on the podcast. I was like, I'm going to create my own. I'm going to create my own here. So what I did was I created my own members only podcast. So if you're worried about potentially going, oh, okay, but I would miss the session, don't worry, I'll record it. But then they're also recorded and they will go straight to your phone. And all you need to do is press play. You can catch up when you're walking. You can catch up when you're driving, when you're cooking, when you're training. And also from an adherence point of view, I am consistently updating this podcast. And fundamentally, if you sign up today, when you come on board today, you will have lifetime access to this members only podcast. For the remainder of your coaching career, you will consistently have a nutritionist in your pocket. And I'm always updating this program. I'm updating this podcast. So consistently, you'll be able to carry on with leveling up your knowledge. Now, one other thing that you will also get is that when you sign up today, you will also have access to the Nutrition Hub. So what is the Nutrition Hub? The Nutrition Hub is exactly what I wish that I had when I first started. I wish that I just had this place that I could constantly go back to effectively get all of my nutritional education. So effectively, whenever I had a client ask me a question, I wish that I could just go on there and effectively kind of run through a little course and have the answer. Every answer to your nutritional questions will be on here. I also have some very special courses that are on here as well on supplementation. There is also a course all on female health and menopause, who I asked my very good friend, Dr. Sally Bell, to come on board. And she has delivered a specific course on how to fuel your ladies, whether it's around their cycle, whether it's around, their hormonal fluctuations during menopause. You have access to that on my Nutrition Hub. And again, this is updated consistently, and you will have this for life. For life, you will have access to a nutritionist in your pocket, and you will have access to regularly updated courses on the Nutrition Hub for the remainder of your coaching career. So when you sign up today, you will get access to the Next Level Coach 6-week course that starts in October, lifetime access to that Nutrition Hub, which is a total value of $4,994. And fundamentally, when you come on board today, you will be able to guarantee results for every single client that comes into your world. You'll be able to personalize nutrition without ever needing to track macros, get clients adhering so they can actually follow through. You'll never doubt yourself again. You'll be able to raise your prices with conviction, effortlessly increase retention, unleash a flood of referrals, and fundamentally, in this saturated, incredibly competitive coaching market, you'll be able to stand out as a go-to coach. And you'll be able to finally get rid of that relentless, nagging self-doubt that's telling you that you don't know enough. That feeling of always looking over your shoulder that clients are going to drop off will go away. You'll be able to get rid of that dread before check-ins, that fear that there's not enough to go around and you don't stand out from the crowd, begging clients to stick to the plan, unstable income from clients dropping off, and avoiding opportunities because you're scared of not being good enough. All of that will go away, and it will go away in just 44 days. And I think fundamentally, the whole point is to get you to a place where nutrition is just no longer a problem. It's just completely done. Okay, it's done for you and you never have to stress about it again. You could do this all yourself. Like you could go on your own journey and you could do this yourself. And it's the hard way because I did it myself. And here's what it cost me. It cost me years of isolation, sacrifice, and error. It cost me financially £27,000 in a degree, £14,000 in a master's, £16,000 a PhD, and £42,000 worth of business mentorship, and thousands of clients learning exactly how to put this into practice, what to say to them, and how to say it to influence them. That was the hard way. Or you can do it the easy way. You come onto the program, this strategy is just there for you, it's just done. It's proven to work, there's no trial and error, just results. And fundamentally, you are 6 weeks away from never having to think twice about nutrition again. Now, I've got a super special bonus for the first 7 people who sign up via this masterclass, the first 7 people. So if you're watching this on the recording, you'll need to see on the order form whether you are one of the first 7 people. Okay, if the offer that I'm about to go through is still there, then you will be one of the first 7 people. But the last time this went in 24 hours, the last time all 7 spots got filled in 24 hours. So for the first 7 people who come onto this offer, I have some insanely special bonuses that are unavailable anywhere else outside this masterclass. Now, I'm sure that you're probably thinking, all this knowledge is great. Like, you could teach me the nutritional side of things and all of these foundations, etc. This knowledge is great, but how do I implement it? How would I put it into practice? Well, that's where, for the first 7 people, I will literally hand you the done for you nutritional plans that you can just give to your clients. These are the exact nutritional plans that I have used with all of my clients over the past 10 years. These are effectively version 1000. These are tried, these are tested. You don't have to think, do I need to do macro splits? Do I need to go on Canva and design a PDF? Done for you, branded up with your logos and your colors. You give me your logo, you give me your colors. I will train you how to use these plans, and I will give them to you in a way that are branded up so you can pass it on to your clients and it's done for you. So in terms of the application, you will be given nutritionist grade plans. Imagine this, ask yourself the question, in terms of your clients, what do you think your clients would say if they knew that the nutritional plan that they have got was designed by a nutritionist? How will they actually think about you? So you will get the Elite Nutrition System, all the plans done and dusted for you. So when you sign up today, you will get access to the 6-week course, lifetime access to the Nutrition Hub, and all of the done for you plans, which is a total value of $6,991. Now, also, if you are one of the first 7 people to sign up, you will also get a year's supply of custom branded recipes. So these are all done for you recipes that take 10 to 15 minutes to put together. They're all designed by me over the past 10 years. I've designed them, I have tried them out, and I have given them to clients, and I know which ones work. These are the ones that work. You will have a year's supply of custom branded recipes to go and implement all of this, as well as my fake away series. So the clients who like takeaways, they like to eat out, you will also get access to my Indian cookbook, my Chinese cookbook, again, that I have designed. They are nutritionist grade recipes. They take 10 to 15 minutes to put together, and they've been tried and tested with all of the clients that I have worked with. And you give me your logo, I will brand them up for you. Now, when you sign up today, you will also get a year's supply of custom branded recipes. Now, it's really interesting because I had one of my clients, his name was Sam, and he always laughs when he hears me tell this story because he once went to me, he goes, "You don't actually charge £97 for a recipe book, mate. Like, surely you don't charge. Who's paying £100 for a recipe book?" And I said, "Do you understand what it takes to put together not only a recipe book, but put together a nutritionist grade recipe book, a recipe book that actually fits in with the nutritional requirements of your clients?" So I'm going to tell you the process of what it takes to put together just one recipe, let alone a book, let alone 14 books. Okay? One recipe. First of all, I've got to put the recipe together. So I've got to have the creative juices to put together a recipe that someone would want to eat. Then I've got to use my head to ensure that from a macronutrient point of view and from a micronutrient point of view, it fits in with someone's nutritional requirements. Then what I've got to do is I've got to go to the shop to go and buy the ingredients, because I've got to go to the ingredients and actually see how long it's going to take to cook, and actually if it tastes any good. So then what I do is I go to the shop, I go and pay the money to go and buy the ingredients to make the recipe. I come home, I then cook the recipe. I then realize it's taking me an hour to do it, so I've got to remake the recipe and change it up and make it quicker. Then I go and taste it and I realize it tastes like shit and I've got to tweak it again. Then I've got to tweak it, go back to the shop, come back, trial it out. I taste it, I go, brilliant, that's fantastic. I then give it to a selection of my clients and they go, that sucks. I've then got to do it all over again. And then repeat that for 14 books. Okay, so you are more than welcome to design your own recipe books. Okay, or you can just buy these. They're done for you. Okay, so like I said, it's the same with the course. Okay, you can go and do this all yourself. Okay, and it'll take you 10 years. You have a choice. 10 years, 44 days. What do you value more? And here's something I found to be incredibly powerful. You will pay either way to get this result. You will pay in money or you will pay in time. One thing I found is one of them comes back and one of them doesn't. Money always comes back, time doesn't. So, by not coming on board today, you are choosing that you value your money over your time. Okay, so this will take you 10 years to do on your own or 44 days to do. Okay, so when you sign up today, you will get the 6-week course that starts in October. You will get lifetime access to the Nutritional Hub. You will get the Elite Nutrition System, a year's supply of custom branded recipes, which is a total value of £7,988. What else will you get? Like I said, this is not just some course that is designed for you to go, hey, you're all left on your own. This is about personalizing it to you. And more importantly, this is about getting an immediate return on investment. So Adam, who came onto my course last time in June, he actually in the first week, off the back of the stuff that we ran through on the private one-to-one, like I mentioned, I've been trained by some of the best business mentors in the world on how to acquire new customers. In the first week, Adam had 8 new clients come on board, and his investment was paid for within a week. So our first one-to-one is all about going, right, okay, let's put together a very, very simple roadmap for you to get 5 clients into your business to pay for this thing. Get your clients to pay for your business. Get your clients to pay for your lifestyle. The beauty of entrepreneurship is that at any point, if we want to do something, we can go and do it by going, all I need to do is go and get new clients in. If you're charging £250 a month, yeah, and you need an extra 500 quid, go and get 2 clients, 500 quid, done. So ask yourself the question, how could I get my clients to pay for this? And for the way you do that is by having a conversation with me, and I'll tell you exactly how you can go and do that. And then secondly, on the other one-to-one, what we do is I have a look at your coaching program and specifically how you're currently delivering your nutritional goals. So your nutritional coaching right now, and I would teach you how we're going to apply this to your specific clientele. Okay. So long story short, I will guarantee you that you will, by the end of this course, have got your investment back already. Okay. That's the goal. And it's not the goal, it's the promise. So what you're going to get when you sign up today, you will get the Next Level Coach 6-week course, lifetime access to the Nutrition Hub, the Elite Nutrition System, a year's supply of custom branded recipes, 2 private one-to-ones with myself, total value so far of £8,788. Here's a question for you. What else do you need to be successful? What else do you need? What else do you need? Well, from everything that I've gone through today, in terms of everything that's in this offer so far, you already have the knowledge of how to master these 5 foundations. You already know how to practically implement it, how to personalize it to your clients. You have the done for you, tried and tested tools to implement it that are proven, guaranteed to work nutrition plans and meals that take only 10 to 15 minutes to put together. And you'll be able to get your investment back because you'll know how to bring in the next 5 clients to pay for your investment. Okay. What else do you need? I'm sure you're probably thinking right now, this is great, but even if I knew what to do and have the tools to implement it, would I be able to actually do it right? And I know you said about this adherence strategy, but would they even actually adhere? Would they actually do it? Okay. Which is why I've got you covered. Okay. Now, for the first time ever, I am publicly opening up the vault to my most exclusive and most powerful and precious resource nutritionally that I have ever put together. Okay. And it is available to the first 7 people who come on board. Now, what I have done is over the past 2 years, the guys on my highest level program, my elite coach, okay, my highest level one-to-one mentoring program, they've had access to my resource called the Client Nutrition Hub, which is effectively a done for you roadmap where I am actually teaching the nutrition for your clients. Those 5 foundations, I have put together a course for your clients to run through where I'm delivering the nutrition. Okay, so what all of the guys do in terms of their nutritional education as part of their coaching, what they actually do is they go, right, what you need to do is you need to go onto the Nutrition Hub and watch this specific part. They're then educated on insulin. They're educated on those 5 foundations. And then there is an individual course that they can consistently go through for the majority of the time that you're there on your coaching program, where they can learn about sleep. They can learn about alcohol. There are also trainings on there that are what to do when you've gone off track. So when you have a client who's gone off track and they're constantly struggling to get back on track, allow me to do the teaching. ask yourself the question, what would it do to the value of your coaching program in comparison to everyone else's if you literally had a virtual nutritionist delivering the nutrition for you? Those nutrition plans as well, those nutrition plans, there is a training on the Nutrition Hub for your clients to watch where I'm walking through exactly how to do those nutritional plans. Not only am I giving you the plans, not only am I teaching you how to use the plans, I'm also teaching your clients how to do it. So not only are you getting taught nutritionally, not only are you being given the tools to do it, I'm teaching your clients. How would that change things for you if you effectively had a nutritionist in your program? You have a nutritionist in your program. How many coaches have that? They don't. Now, if I was to sell this outside, just 6 months access to the nutritional hub, I would sell that at $4,000. Okay. So when you come on board, if you are one of the first 7, okay, if you're watching this on the recording, if this is available to you, you're still in the first 7, okay? But when you come on board today, you will get the 6-week nutritional course with the Next Level Coach. You will get lifetime access to the Nutrition Hub. You will get all of the plans, guides, and recipes done for you. Lifetime access to the members only podcast, year's supply of custom branded recipes, 2 private one-to-ones with myself, 6 months access to the client Nutrition Hub. Total value of £12,785. Okay. And one final thing as well, for the next 6 months, you will also have me coming into your program delivering a nutritional seminar completely for free for the next 6 months. So for the next 6 months, you will not only have your client's ability to go through the pre-recorded courses and have your nutrition done for and taught for you pre-recorded on the course, you will also have, in terms of the quality of service and the value that you can deliver, you will have me coming in and delivering the nutrition for your clients. Whew, that's a lot of value. So what are you going to get when you sign up? You're going to get the Next Level Coach 6-week course, lifetime access to the Nutrition Hub, the Elite Nutrition System, a year's supply of custom branded recipes, 2 private one-to-ones, 6 months access to the Client Nutrition Hub, 6 monthly client nutrition seminars, total value of $15,167. Now, I had 2 options here. The first option was in terms of pricing, because obviously I'm not going to charge you £15,167, but you can see the immense amount of value that comes with it. Okay. What value do you place on your nutritional coaching just being done and dusted for you? Okay. So I had 2 options when it came to pricing this. The first option was I could go as cheap as possible and I could try and sell as many of these as I can. But here's the thing. There's no value in that for anyone here. There's no value in that. So the second option, in terms of how I was going to price this, just requires a little bit of a higher investment. But in exchange, what this allows me to do is devote more resources to guarantee your success. So let me ask you a question. What is the peace of mind that nutrition and client results are no longer a problem anymore to you? What is that worth to you? And can everyone see specifically how leveling up nutritionally, guaranteeing results, gets you those 17 clients that you need who pay you what you're worth, stay with you, and refer 1 client each? Can everyone see how that will happen for you? And if you can see why people are paying the Next Level Coach over £10,000 for a similar result. Because this is not a cost. This is an investment, and it's the ultimate investment because this is about making sure that you never have to worry about nutrition again. This is what will set you apart from everyone else. So you can see why it'd be a good deal at over 10 grand. The 6-week course alone, if you wanted to sign up to the Next Level Coach 6-week course outside of the program alone, then this would cost you £3,000. Okay, outside of the masterclass, this would cost you £3,000. But you can get started today for just $997. Okay, just $997. And there's 2 ways in which you can get started. You get started by going to www.nextlevelcoach.uk/ready. And I've put that link for those of you live on the call here. I've put that in the chat. And also you can get started 2 ways. With 1 installment where you can pay in full of $997, where you're saving £200, and that link is in the chat. Or you can pay on a payment plan, which is 6 monthly installments of 197 per month. So there's two ways in which you can get started. 997 with one installment of 997 where you save £200, or 6 monthly installments of 197 per month. So if you're watching this live on the call, I've put the links in the chat. If you are watching this on the recording, the button below will get you through to the order form. If the bonuses are still on the order form, then you can take that as you are one of the 7, one of the first 7 to sign up. So again, I mentioned something earlier, which was get your clients to pay for your investment. One thing I want to kind of say to you is that if you're this far in, you obviously are someone who's committed to leveling up your nutritional coaching. You're obviously committed to becoming the best coach that you possibly can. And the question here is, if we look at it 197 a month, that's one client. That's one client. If you're an in-person personal trainer, that's one client for a session a week. Okay. So by not coming on board, what you're actually saying is that you don't believe that in the next 6 to 12 months, you will be able to get one client to come on board to pay for this. The way that you get this sorted, a really easy way, is get your clients to pay for it. Okay. Get your clients to pay for it. If you're an in-person personal trainer, could you potentially get a couple of extra sessions per week? Say, hey, do you want to do an extra session? You get 4 people who want to do an extra weekly session. Like, that's paid for. You get one person who wants to go from 1 session to 2 sessions a week, it's paid for. You haven't paid for anything. So effectively what you're saying by not coming on board is, I don't believe I'll be able to actually do this. Okay, so 2 ways to get started. 1 installment today of 997, £76, £200, or 6 monthly installments of 197 a month. Now, one thing I do want to stress is that this offer expires on Sunday at midnight. Okay, you'll be able to come onto the course still, but you won't have the bonuses. And like I mentioned, for those bonuses, I only have 7 spaces available to it. Okay, so you'll still be able to come onto the course in October, but it will be 2997 as opposed to 997. And you won't have any of the bonuses. You won't have the Client Nutrition Hub. You won't have the done for you recipes. You won't have the done for you nutritional plans, and you won't have the monthly seminars delivered by me. So again, to get started, click the button below, or go on to nextlevelcoach.uk/ready. So this was my client, Mitch. Mitch really kind of, again, like, he was in a place where specifically it was the adherence side of things that he was really kind of struggling with. And I think he maybe had like a core issue, which was, I don't know if I'll be able to actually make the time for this. But Mitch has been with me for 4 years. He actually went through my 6-week course, and now he's actually been with me on my private one-to-one mentoring program for the past 4 years, where he's just come back from traveling the world for the past 12 months. He went to South Africa, Southeast Asia, South America, Australia, all off the back of taking his business to a place where he can deliver amazing results. And he mentioned here, like, that it was kind of freestyle around his nutritional coaching, but because he's got the whole process done for him, and because he has the Client Nutrition Hub, and also he's been leveled up in terms of how to coach, his clients get amazing results. And off the back of that, he's been in that place. So this is also Ryan. Ryan's been working with me for quite a long time as well. And he said, here, before working with Callum, I lacked confidence in my nutrition coaching. My clients were hitting plateaus. I just wasn't sure if I could truly get them the results. Now my confidence is through the roof, and I just know that I can help anyone walk through the door. At the time of writing this, he was actually nearly at full capacity with 30 clients, but he's actually fully booked. So he is fully booked in his business, and his business has never been stronger. And again, he's mentioned here, if you're on the fence, just go for it. Because 6 months from now, you'll be a completely different coach. And I think that's the thing. Like, make the decision that your future self will say thank you for. In 6 months' time, you're going to go, oh, I'm really, really glad I saved £50 a week. Like, that's not even a meal out anymore. Like, it's not a meal out anymore. So this is my client, John. I'd have some clients who would get results and others that wouldn't. I was constantly having to replace clients that had left. But now my life with clients is amazing. And for the first time, I have real strategies that make an actual impact with my clients. This is Samantha. So again, Samantha's put this yeah, Samantha's put a beautiful kind of statement here, which is beautiful. But I think the best thing to do is actually to give Samantha a listen to.
A great number of my clients weren't getting results. They were doing great with their training, but nutritionally, I was really falling short with them. I didn't know my stuff. Why aren't my clients getting results? And it was really making me worry. And in no time at all, a lot of them started to drop off. That made me feel like a failure, an imposter, and feel like a bit of a fraud. Nothing was really sticking. And for those who Calorie Counter did work for short term, it never stuck long term. Like I said, I was beginning to feel like a bit of a fraud. There has to be something else out there. Calories doesn't work for everybody. So when I first met Callum, it was a whole different message. And it's phenomenal that I'm getting longer retention. I'm able to talk to my clients about nutrition confidently and know what I'm on about. And I don't feel like a fraud anymore. I'm not just winging it. I'm not just going, right, how's your nutrition going? It's something that I really look forward to talking to them about. I feel like a veil has been lifted because this whole calories in, calories out, yes, it might work for some people and that is amazing, but it doesn't work for everybody. In terms of my confidence level, my knowledge, it's completely changed it for me. You could spend years learning how to get there yourself, and you might get there, but you could learn it so much faster. I could still be stuck in the same wheel of the same churn of client comes in, I tell them to track calories, it's not working for them, fat loss isn't happening, they leave. And then I'm panicking, wondering where my next client's coming from. If anyone's wondering whether or not they should take that step, then 100% do it, because you won't regret it. You'll get results much quicker. Just take the leap of faith, you won't regret it.
And Samantha, again, she's been with me for a long time. She's been with me for nearly 4 years, so which is amazing. And this is my client Aggie as well, who recently went through the 6-week course as well.
I cannot rave about Callum enough. He has literally changed my life when it comes to my online coaching business. So I've been a PT for 6 years and an online coach for 2 years. And even though like I kind of knew what I was doing, I found that I was really getting stuck with about 40 to 50% of my clients just weren't making the progress that I was expecting. They were training hard. I know they were training hard. They weren't lying to me. We're in a calorie deficit. They were eating high protein and they just weren't dropping the weight. And it was getting a little bit awkward because they were paying me money and I got stuck. I didn't know what to do. I didn't understand why. I heard about Callum and I inquired and I enrolled on his 6-week program. This program has changed my life. I have such a better understanding of nutrition, insulin specifically, and how this really affects your body and weight loss. It's literally turned my coaching business around. A few times I've been on the brink of calling it quits and giving it up. I thought, I'm no good at this. I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. I was comparing myself to other coaches, not understanding why I wasn't getting results like them. In fact, I was feeling a bit of a fraud, which is really annoying because I'm so passionate about my job and I love it so much. I'm so glad that I enrolled on this course with Callum. I'm now furthering my education with him and I'm on his elite program, which is incredible. And I would encourage anybody, if you are in the same position as I was, feeling like a fraud, unsure what you're doing wrong, on the brink of giving up, then start with his 6-week program. I promise it will change your life.
And those are two amazing coaches who have just been incredible. So, so again, like, you know, of course, I'm going to tell you that my program's amazing, but, you know, they really are a walking testimony. Now, one thing I do want to say as well is that I also have a 30-day money back guarantee. Okay. So as long as you attend every single one of the training sessions, so as long as you attend all of the sessions and you go through 50% off the members only podcast, that if you are not happy with the course, okay, to fully take out any risk, any worry that you have about whether this is a good investment or not for you, if you're not happy, if you do not see a change in your nutritional knowledge, if you do not see a change in your nutrition results, I will give you your money back. But not only will I give you your money back, I have a full 3-part guarantee. The first part is you come on the course, you attend everything, you go through it. If it sucks and it doesn't work, as long as you've attended everything and you don't like it, I'll give you your money back 100%. The second part, you go through everything, okay? You attend the course. If it doesn't work for you, not only will I give you your money back, but also I will personally coach you one-to-one until your results and your knowledge begins to change completely for free. If that takes 1 month, if it takes 12 months, I will personally coach you for free until your results begin to change. One other thing, not only will I give you your money back if it doesn't work, not only will I coach you for free until it does work, but I will also personally coach your clients for 6 weeks for free, delivering all of the nutritional coaching to them if this sucks. So effectively, you literally have nothing to lose. You come on the course, it works. You come on the course and it doesn't work for you, we'll make it work for you and it costs you nothing. But the only thing guaranteed to not bring you any form of success is by not investing today and taking action. And here's the thing, I'm not even actually asking you to make a decision today. You literally kind of get to test drive this thing with absolutely zero risk. Zero risk. Now, there's only 2 outcomes here. Outcome number 1, you finally get this sorted. You never have to worry about your client's nutrition again. It's done for you. You finally have the confidence to put yourself out there as your business grows off the back of clients retaining, and you finally feel free of that imposter syndrome. Or outcome number 2, you come on board, it doesn't work for you, you're in the same place that you are now, but you get all of your money back. You then get 6 weeks of free coaching, minimum, and you get an elite performance nutritionist deliver the nutrition for you for the next 6 weeks. So both of these options are completely risk-free, but the only thing guaranteed to not help you is to leave this masterclass today having not taken action and come on board. So here's just a reminder of everything that you're going to get when you come on board today. You will get the Next Level Coach 6-week course. You will get lifetime access to the Nutrition Hub, the Elite Nutrition System, a year's supply of custom branded recipes, 2 private one-to-ones, 6 months access to the Client Nutrition Hub, and 6 monthly client nutritional seminars as well, all for $997. And there are 2 ways in which you can get started. You can get started through paying in full at $997, saving £200, or 6 monthly installments of $197 per month. Like I said, if you're watching this on the recording, click the button below. If you're watching this live, then the links are in the chat. Just go to www.nextlevelcoach.uk/ready or click the links in the chat. I think that the core thing here is that this isn't just about your nutritional coaching. This is about your confidence. This also is about within your business, getting yourself to a place where you can actually finally charge higher prices. You can increase retention. You can double your referrals. And fundamentally, you can get to that 6-figure business. You can get to that place where you're finally living life on your own terms. You're finally free of imposter syndrome. You finally got a business that gives you the freedom that you originally signed up for. And more importantly, you can finally make the progress that you want. So let me ask you a question here. First of all, let's say that coming on board, the only thing that this course did was allow you to increase your prices. So let's say that if all this did was allow you to up your prices, would it be worth it to you? Okay, so let's say that you've got 10 clients. And if the only thing that delivering next level results allowed you to actually do was increase your prices from $150 per month to £250 per month, would it be worth it to you? If the only thing this actually did was allow you to increase your prices by an extra £100 per month, and specifically an extra £25 per week, would it be worth it to you? Question to you. Do you think that if you delivered amazing results no other coach could, and there were results that are better than what you're delivering right now, and you increase the value of your service, do you think you'd be able to warrant increasing your prices? Well, over a year, that's an extra £12,000 that you're able to generate just off the back of that price increase with only 10 clients. Now, you might be thinking, like, okay, yeah, but £100 a month is a little bit of a stretch. A little bit of a stretch. Well, I get that. But what would happen if instead of it being £100 a month that you were able to increase your prices by, you actually just off the back of coming onto the course. So think about it. If your clients knew that you've just been trained by an elite performance nutritionist, you've just got access to done for you recipes that are created by a nutritionist that take 10 to 15 minutes to put together. For the next 6 months, they're going to have an elite nutritionist come in and deliver a nutritional seminar. For the next 6 months, they also have done for you courses delivered by a nutritionist within the program. And also they knew that you had leveled yourself up. Do you think you'd be able to increase your prices by £25 per month? Okay, just an extra 25 quid a month, which is £6.25 per week. Do you think that that would warrant that? Of course it would. So again, if all this did was allow you to increase your prices by £25 a month, by £6.25 a week, that's an extra £3,000 in your pocket, just from that simple price increase. Like I said to you earlier, before you up your prices, you've got to up your value. This is giving you an opportunity to up your value, to up your prices, to effectively put an extra £3,000 in your pocket. That's what you're missing out on by not coming on board today. Secondly, let's say you went, right, okay, do you know what? The pricing thing's a little bit of a stretch. But if the only thing this did was increase my retention. Let's say that you're charging $150 a month. And let's say currently you've got a client who sticks around for 90 days. And the only thing that this course did was turn that 90-day client into a 365-day client. You kept your prices the same. What happens is that client who was worth $450 now goes to being worth £1,800. If you've got 10 clients and all it did was increase their retention from a 90-day client to a 365-day client, that's £18,000 that you're bringing in. Now, you might even think that, like, okay, right, that's cool, I get that, but, taking someone from a 90-day client to a 365-day client, isn't that a bit of a stretch? I'm like, okay, even if it was, even if the only thing that leveling up your results did, even if the only thing that finally breaking through plateaus and getting these clients to actually move forward with things and you delivering a higher quality result, if the only thing it did was cause your clients to just stay on for one extra month, again, we look at that. Those 10 clients, one extra month at $150 per month, that's an extra £1,500. Course is $997. Just from one extra month of retention, you're making money on it. You're not just paying for the investment, you're making money on it. Do you honestly think this isn't going to increase your retention by 4 weeks? Of course it is. Now, here's the other thing. Think of the number of clients that you're not having to sign up anymore because you've got a sustainable business. Now, my question to you here is, and it could be a confusing one at first, but you might be thinking right now, I'm just worried about the price. Like, I just don't, $997, I'm worried about the price. Question to you, is it price you're concerned with or cost? Now, I can already hear you right now saying, well, what's the difference? What is the difference between price and cost? Well, the price of the program is $997. The cost is the £12,000 that you could have got from upping your prices. The cost is the £18,000 that you could have had from increasing retention. The cost is your peace of mind. The cost, the price, is $997. The cost of inaction, staying where you are, is £40,000 and your peace of mind. That's the cost of not taking action. Ask yourself a question. What's the decision that your future self is going to say? Good decision. Well done. Question for you. If there was a machine, okay, that spat out 40 grand, and the only thing you had to do was insert 997 or 197 a month, 50 quid a week, and you had to do that, you get 40k. The only thing you had to do was insert 997 into the machine, 197 a month, £50 a week into the machine, and you got 40 grand back. Would you do it? Of course you would. So my question to you here is, first of all, we look at it. This investment is at £50 per week, effectively. What are you spending 50 quid a week on? What can you stop spending £50 a week on? How could you potentially get £50 per week out of your existing client base? Think back to what we kind of spoke about at the start. How we spoke about this 3 ways to bring in new clients, to bring in more money. 1, more clients. But 2, get your clients to pay you more. What could you do if you have 10 clients? Okay, what could you do to get them to pay you an extra £5 a week? Surely you could find something to get them pay an extra £5 a week. Okay, get your clients to pay for this. More importantly, do you think you could find just one client over the next 6 months to pay for this thing? By not investing, what you're actually saying is that you don't believe that you will be able to get just one client on board over the next 6 months to pay for this at $197 a month. Now, my question to you is, how long do you plan on coaching for? Because can you see that this isn't just about investing in a 6-week course? This isn't about investing in 44 days. Okay, it's not. Think about the majority of the things that you get. You get lifetime access to the Nutrition Hub. You get lifetime access to the Members Only podcast. But more importantly, the information that you get, the plans that you have, the recipes that you get, all of these things, they will stay with you for the remainder of your coaching career. So can you see that what you're actually investing in, you're not investing in the next 6 weeks, you're investing in the remainder of your coaching career. So my question to you is, how long do you plan on coaching for? How long do you plan on coaching for? Let's say 40 years. Let's say 30 years, 20 years. Let's say it was the next 20 years, just as a small ballpark, okay? What you're actually investing in is becoming a coach who is capable of delivering a high quality result for the next 20 years. Ask yourself the question, think about earlier how we spoke about that pain versus pleasure. The pain you're currently experiencing, clients dropping off, imposter syndrome, lack of sustainable business, not being able to take it to where you want to be, feeling like a failure, feeling like a fraud. Do you want to carry that around with you for the next 20 years? Because what you're investing in is the antidote to that. A complete flip side, the next 20 years without that. So really, if we actually look at this 997, you're not investing 997 in a 6-week course. Think about all of the bonuses and the resources that you get with this. But more importantly, you're actually investing 997 in the education that you're going to receive to be able to be a high quality, thriving coach for the next 20 years. Now let's look at that investment of 997 over the next 20 years. 997 divided by 20, okay? That's £49 per year. We divide that by 12. That's £4.15 per month. We divide that by 30. That's 13 pence per day. Now my question to you is, would you invest 13 pence per day to be a coach in a league of your own who delivers amazing results that no other coach can, or just stay as another coach? Your choice. 13 pence per day. Where can you find 13p a day from? You can't buy anything for that. You are investing in your coaching career. You are investing in never having to worry about this ever again. Now, something that's really kind of interesting to me was, I remember at a time, I remember that the core thing that was really impacting me was my sales. You know, I've kind of mentioned to you here already that the real secret is to make sure that you can get your clients to pay for this. How do you do that? The beauty of entrepreneurship. Okay. The beauty of entrepreneurship and running a business is uncertainty, because I'm sure there's a couple of you right now going like, oh, I can't afford it. I haven't got the funds or whatever. Find a way to do it. Find a way to afford it. The biggest worry and the biggest uncertainty that comes with running a business is uncertainty of income. I have no idea how much is coming out, is going to be coming in next month. No idea. Everyone else has got a job. Everyone else has got a stable income. You don't. I don't. But here's the thing. That uncertainty, you can see it as a negative Oh, I don't know how much money I've got coming in next week, next month. Blah, blah. Or you can see it as I have no limit to how much money comes in. Everyone else who has a job, they have a limit. They needed to bring in an extra 997. The only way they could do it is by selling stuff that they have at home or taking a loan out or on a credit card. You as a business owner, 197 a month, you have the ability to just get one client in. How amazing. You need an extra £200 a month, get one client in. You need an extra £400, get two clients. Oh, there's not enough to go around. The next time you think that there is not enough to go around, go out into your local town, go out into your local city and see how many people are going shopping. Okay, see how many people are going shopping, spending their hard-earned money, but more importantly, see how many people who are spending their money who are overweight, unhappy, and unfit. They are financially qualified, they're spending their money, they're unhappy, and they are overweight. As long as there are people who are overweight, unhappy, and have money, you are in a job as a personal trainer. And your job is just to go and find those people and say, hey, are you struggling with this at the moment? Are you struggling with your nutrition? Are you struggling with your training? Yeah, I am. Do you want to come on board? And if they say no, okay, go on to the next person. By not coming on board, you are effectively saying you do not believe that in the next 6 months you will find one client to be able to pay for your nutritional education for the remainder of your coaching career. Okay, make the right decision for you. And specifically, the real secret to being able to do that is to be able to sell. And you might be like where I used to be. I used to really struggle with sales. I used to really struggle with my ability to sell. And it was really interesting because I went to a seminar and there was a guy there who was doing a seminar all on sales, and it was specifically sales for fitness coaches. And specifically in terms of the sales for fitness coaches, he was delivering a seminar, and he effectively said that the real secret to sales is not a script. Is not knowing what to say. It's not changing the tone of your voice. The real secret to sales is to have the certainty and conviction that I can deliver and I believe in what I'm selling. The real secret to sales is effectively having the energy to say, you would be an idiot to not come on board. You're telling me you have a problem. You would be a fool to not come on board. You don't say those words, but that's the energy you've got to exuberate. You've got to own that energy. And he said it starts with belief. You have to fully believe in what you're selling. You have to believe in coaching. You have to believe in personal training. You have to believe in online coaching. If you don't have that belief, then you're not going to be able to sell. Question to you right now, what is stopping you from having that belief? What's stopping you from having that belief is a lack of certainty and conviction in your ability to deliver nutritionally. That's why you're here. That's why you're contemplating this. That's why right now you're going like, I just don't really know. That's why you're here. You're here because you know that you need to level up and this imposter syndrome needs to go. Because think about it. Imagine the next time that you were sat in front of a potential client and you knew 100% I could guarantee that you get the result. How would that conversation change? What would that do in terms of the number of people that you're going to sign up? What would that do to you going out there and growing your business? It will go up because you know I can deliver. You're struggling with marketing right now. Go and level yourself up. You're struggling with sales. Go and level yourself up. And I remember being in this seminar, and he said, who here believes in what they're selling? And every hand went up. Every hand went up. My hand went up as well. And he goes, who here is struggling with sales? Every hand stayed up. And then he goes, who here has a coach themselves? Pretty much every hand went down, mine included. Who here has a fitness coach themselves? And he goes, you are a hypocrite. I went, how am I a hypocrite? What? And he goes, how can you expect someone else to invest in themselves if you won't invest in yourself? I was like, shit, he's so right. He's so right. So right. So I was like, right, I got to get myself a coach. I've got to get myself a coach. So what I did, I reached out to a coach. And I'd heard about this coach. I heard he was really, really good. I knew a few guys who worked with him. And I thought he was going to be around the 150 a month mark. Because that's what I'd been told previously. It was about 150 a month. So I had a conversation with him and I went to invest. And basically, I said to him, I was just like, look, I'm really, really interested in training with you, and I want to kind of get on board. And he was like, okay, well, why are you here? What's this about? I said, well, obviously, one, I want to kind of level myself up from a training point of view. I want to get fitter. I've got something that I want to train for. But truthfully, I've just actually been to this seminar, and this bloke has literally had my pants down. He has literally had my pants down and just shown that I'm a hypocrite. Like, I'm expecting people to invest in me, and I'm not going to invest in them, in myself. Like, I need to invest in myself. And it's like, brilliant. Like, how committed are you? So I'm all in, committed, yeah, 100%. And I'm thinking it's going to be £150 a month. I'm like, yeah, easy. So then he goes to me, he goes, right, okay, so can I just confirm you're all in, you're ready to go? I was like, yes, all in, 100%. He goes, right, okay, it's £3,000 up front for the next 6 months. Silent. I was like, whoa. His meeting is going to be 150 quid a month for the next 3 months, £450. Now it's £3,000 for 6 months. Right. And I did exactly what every potential client does to you. I went, well, Tom, that's amazing. I really appreciate your time, mate. Really enjoyed today. It's great to meet you. Just going to need a little bit of time to just got to think about it. I always kind of make sure that I speak to my partner before I make any investments. I make sure that, just also in terms of finances, just got to run through my finances, check it out. Just probably not the best time of year to invest. And you go, I'm going to stop you there. I went, what? I'm going to stop you there. Okay. Why are you here? I said, well, I was here to level myself up. Yeah, but why? And I went, well, mainly because I've got to level up my sales skills. And he goes, are you saying that you're currently struggling with sales? I said, yeah. And he goes, what is it that you're struggling with specifically? And I said, the objections. And he goes, I know what your problem is. I went, right. What's the problem, mate? He goes, it's not your conviction and your certainty. Okay. Your problem is that when you're sat in front of a potential client and you then are sat there and say, hey, it's so-and-so, it's this amount of money. And they then say to you, it's a bad time of year. Got to speak to my partner. Let me just think about it. Get back to you. Just gotta make sure that this all kind of fits in. Just send me the details. When they say that to you, deep down, you're sat opposite them and you say to yourself, yeah, I get it. I'd probably do the same in your shoes. And he then asked me a question. He said, have you ever read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki? And I said, yeah, I have. And he goes, there's a passage in there that literally summarizes the quality of business owner. And he said in the book that there's a difference between a business owner who's going to make it and a business owner who isn't going to make it. The business owner who isn't going to make it always says, I can't afford it. The business owner who is going to make it, instead of saying, I can't afford it, asks the question, how could I afford it? Because as soon as you say to yourself, I can't afford it, your brain says your wish is my command. It accepts it as truth. And it goes, we can't afford it. And it shuts off looking for any potential solutions. But when you say, how could I afford it? Your brain then begins to search for solutions. So my question to you, ask yourself the question, how could you afford it? How could you find the money? How could you make it work? In that situation, I went, well, I could just get my clients to pay for it. And what happened was in the next week, I put the money down. In the next week, because I put that £3,000 down, I was accountable. I made sure that I showed up. I got fitter. I got stronger. But more importantly, I knew I needed to go and get that money back. And within a week, I made £3,000. Within a week, I got that investment back. I spoke to you about my client Adam earlier. Within a week, he didn't just get his investment back. He had more than his investment back. So you've got a choice here. You can stay where you're at continue experiencing the same challenges and the difficulties you currently are and do nothing, or invest in yourself. And remember, how can you expect someone to invest in you if you're not going to invest in you? So thank you so much for your time, guys. Really, really simple on how you can get started. All you need to do is just click on the link below, www.nextlevelcoach.uk/ready. You're watching this on the recording, just click the button below. Make sure you're one of the first 7 to get on board so you get all of the bonuses. And I really, really look forward to having you all on board for the course in October. So thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you later.